Hello, everyone. Grace and peace to everyone. Brother Zachary, this is a message to the church that we all need to stand up and take heed what's going on in this world. I'm going to show some videos concerning the thing that's been happening in the past 2 months that relates to things that happened 7 years ago. Kind of the same kind of the same kind of thing that happened then is happening now. It's all about a takeover, all about a certain spirit that's in the world that's trying to push religion and communism into form. It's basically what I'm saying is the Antichrist spirit. So I'm not gonna be long with you. I just want to show a couple of videos, and maybe these videos will give you some insight about what I am sharing and what it is related to the end of time. So I just want to go and share my screen, and may y'all be blessed by what y'all see. All right, let's go this one. So here we go. We got what to know about Mosul and ISIS, and I'm gonna show another video, and you will understand, and then you can make your own conclusion about what you think is what's going on in this world. We got a little commercial playing right now.
Mosul is back in the headlines, so here's a quick primer in case you haven't been paying attention. Mosul is a city of at least 1.5 million people in northern Iraq, and it's ISIS's last major stronghold in the country.
If you want to know
2 years ago, the terrorist group captured Mosul essentially uncontested.
This is a nightmare scenario that U.S. generals, when they were here in Iraq, never talked about.
The Iraqi army charged with protecting the city withered.
Its soldiers
dropped their guns and shed their uniforms.
As ISIS militants
flooded over the border from Syria,
many
Iraqi soldiers simply fled.
What surprised us, certainly from a military perspective, was how quickly they moved into Mosul over the summer, how fast that went, their progress up north, as well as just the way 4 or 5 Iraqi divisions kind of melted away.
It was a
strategic and symbolic defeat,
both for
Iraq's government and for the United States,
which had spent
billions of dollars training the Iraqi army
and had withdrawn
its own
troops 2.5 years earlier.
The U.S. fought.
What I'm sharing is the thing that's happened in Iraq, those things that happened in Iraq under ISIS, it was under President Obama in his administration. And if I can remember that he was allowing the world to know that they were going to intervene in Iraq. And they were supposedly training the Kurds that was over there. They are allies to America. The Kurds dropped their weapons and left and fled. And then here come ISIS taking America equipment, not going over there bringing equipment back, but they left it there. Why they did that? They could spend all the money in the world on other things, but they couldn't spend money to bring their stuff back. That's just a question. What do you think?
A nearly decade-long war costing thousands of American lives and $1 trillion. This not to happen.
Now,
the
Iraqi
army backed by a U.S.-led coalition
is preparing
an offensive to take the city back.
And ISIS
is buckling down for a fight.
According to
American and Iraqi officials, ISIS has set booby traps, lowering explosives into holes dug throughout the city, built tunnels so that militants can quickly disappear from one location, only to pop back up firing from another, and have rigged the city's bridges with bombs.
Experts worry
about the devastating death toll the attack could have on Mosul civilians.
By night,
By night, ISIS militants with night vision goggles sit on rooftops at the city's edge, watching for anyone trying to escape.
And then there's this concern.
What happens if the offensive works?
The anti-ISIS
coalition is a motley collection of Iran-backed Shiite militias, Turkish troops, Kurds, Assyrian Christians, Yazidis, and others.
They all have
competing interests.
And in fact,
one reason ISIS was able to take Mosul so easily 2 years ago
was that many of the city's
Sunni majority population felt betrayed and even persecuted by Iraq's Shiite-led government.
So, if ISIS
is pushed out,
who will fill the
power
power
vacuum?
Will sectarian tensions in the anti-ISIS coalition
flare up?
These types of
questions
have been asked before. Still, with no clear
answers.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe.
All right, so I got another video. Now that was under President Obama. Now we have the current president, Joe Biden, and the same kind of thing happened, but under another terrorist group, which is the Taliban. Now let's see in this video what's been said about this situation, about another terrorist group take over in another country, and for what reason.
Afghanistan falls to Taliban control, the Biden administration stands by its plan to leave.
That is the hard decision the president made.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken insisting there's not much more the United States can do.
Ultimately, it's up to the Afghans themselves. It's up to the Afghan government. It's up to the Taliban to decide the way forward for the country.
Now conceding the Taliban's advances have been far faster than even he forecasted in June.
I don't think it's going to be something that happens from a Friday to a Monday.
Placing blame on the Afghan security forces.
Tragically, they have not been able to defend the country, and I think that explains why this has moved as quickly as it's moved.
And pointing the finger at the Trump administration's deal with the Taliban to withdraw American forces by May of this year.
The idea that we could have maintained the status quo beyond May 1st, if the president had decided to stay, I think is a fiction.
Candidate Biden promised to bring troops home, and President Biden guaranteed last month there would be no airlifts from the embassy in Kabul, saying it was not at all analogous to the messy exit from Vietnam 4 decades ago.
This is manifestly not Saigon.
Still, helicopters continuously evacuated Americans and our Afghan allies to the airport throughout the day, an optical comparison Republicans have seized on as they continue to blast the president's foreign policy strategy.
This is going to be a stain on this president and his presidency. And I think he's going to have blood on his hands for what they did.
This has been an epic failure across the board, one we're going to pay for years to come.
And Monica joins us now. Monica, are there any plans for President Biden to address the nation?
Not currently, at least not tonight, Peter. The White House weighing that day by day, with officials acknowledging the American people want to hear from him. For now, the president remains at Camp David, where he has been largely out of view since Friday.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
All right, let me start sharing. All right, so what I've been saying all along about these liberals, and there are some Republicans that pretend to be conservatives. They don't have the American people interest. These people is setting up a stage that will bring pain to American people. So what I'm saying is this stuff don't make no sense. I mean that even though President Trump has signed a deal for the troops to leave in May, doesn't mean that you don't make sure that happen in the right manner. If they was increasing, getting worse, you could have withhold that and postponed the leaving of the troops. But what happens is you take the troops out, and then you don't have no backup plan. And then here comes the Taliban taking over Afghanistan. And we haven't heard, well, I haven't watched the news lately, but I don't know what's happening now. What's going on over there? So we got a lot of questions to ask. But then at the same time, we see the world going in a different way. And that's why there's more on the church plate. We, as a nation, if we are Christian, if we believe in the sovereign God, we believe in Jesus Christ. Now we have patriots out here. They may not believe in Jesus, but they understand morals and understand a healthy way of living. This also go hand in hand. Even though we can't go hand in hand with our faith, because some people don't believe in our faith. But you believe in America, and you believe that this nation is the most powerful nation on this earth. But we got people that's in the office trying to take the power away and trying to give it to another nation. But the first Constitution was all about we the people. And now, despite how you feel about the last president, now let's go back to the thing that he was saying and actually doing. He said, we the people. He stood for the American citizen. So the American citizens is you could have power, and also we could help those that needed help. You don't help out others before you help out your own. We even know that you take care of your family first, then you take care of others. How can you take care of others? You can't take care of yourself. So this is also a question that's going to be raised up too. That, my opinion, this administration is making us weak. It's making the Christians weak. You notice every kind of movement pushes laws. It helped push laws into place of emotionalism, victimhood, but at the same time, these movements is being controlled by higher power that will influence lawmakers to push laws in place to change the nation. They're not pushing moral laws; they pushing immoral laws, and they stand it. There's no voting it out. It's like they already got their mind made up. That's what bothers me too, because no matter what and how many people that vote, it seems like it never get turned around, and it seems like the unrighteousness continue holding on and continue to have it their way. And no matter what the Christians say, a lot of Christians voted. A lot of Christians still voting for the right things. It seems like they not being heard. We have to ask questions like, why not? If we have the power and we doing the right things and praying and seeking righteousness things, how come the evil continue to have their way? It's always a plan. And I always tell people, no matter what's going on, you keep praying, you stay encouraged, because the one that allow these things is the one that's still on the throne, have power. He have all power. So it's a reason why God allowing this to happen. We don't know everything, but we got to understand that everything is all for the good. So I used to tell people, I still tell people now, even though many people pray for the last president to be back in office because he had the motive, and he had a business mind of doing the right things for America. But many people was fooled and tricked by what they saw, what they thought they saw. They saw basically half truths. You see half truths, and if you've been pulled over your hearing over and over and over again, you will believe it. You will believe a lie. And that's what happened with many people. Many people believe in a lie, and they believe what they saw was true based on their own background and their own history of some type of racism. But everything is not racism. Some stuff is, but you can't use that and make it look like everybody is racism. So we can't get into that trap thinking that, okay, we're gonna vote this guy in, but he told you who he was. He showed you who he was. In the administration with Obama, they did the same things. They'll push it in more things. I mean, I'm against homosexuality, but I'm not against the people. Because the people being fooled by a spirit that makes them feel a certain way. Guess why? Because that spirit most likely didn't force his way in. He was invited. Those spirits was invited by these people to try something. So they tried it, they liked it, and now they can't hardly get out of it. And they can make a way out, but it's hard. Why it's so hard? Because it depends on what you want and what you set on your heart. The Bible tells us that whatever a man says in his heart, so is he. So whatever's in your heart, your treasure lies. So if you set your heart on immoral things, that's what you want. And you will show it out. You will bear fruit of it. See, I said this many times. There are two kinds of fruit. They're not the same fruit, but two kinds of fruit. You want good fruit that comes from a good tree, or you want a bad fruit that comes from a bad tree. Both of them bear fruit, but one bear fruit of righteousness and life, and the other will bear fruit with sin and death. What tree you want to eat of? That's the question. What tree do you want to eat of? So we put these people in office, despite what we know of these people, we still put them in office because that's where our heart lies. I'm talking about some of the Christians. Some of the Christians voted these people in, and that's why we have the problems today. Excuse me. That's why we're having the problem today, because if the Lord said we have the power over serpents and scorpions and whatever, if we had the power over them, how much more power do we have of the enemy? It's through the blood of Jesus. But when we misuse misuse the blood, and we use the power to vote people in that tells you who they are. The thing about it is, everything that's said about the last president, it is actually been orchestrated by this president. And a lot of people feel ashamed about it because they were hoodwinked. They really believe that the last president was dead because the news shows you what you wanted to see, what they needed you to see, so you could start changing your mind, no matter how good the president did in his job. No matter how good he did on his job, the news portrayed him as a person that didn't love America, the person that didn't love immigrants, the person that didn't love black people. It was all a lie. Before President Biden took office, Ice Cube came up with a strategy, and he talked to the president, and he talked to Joe Biden. He asked the president, "What will you do for the black community?" Excuse me. And President Trump in his ministry said, "I tell you what, you draw up a plan right now, we get it done." That's what he said. And people might say, "Well, how he said that years ago?" I mean, people got hatred in their heart. They have unforgiveness in their heart. Why come he ain't do this? Why come he ain't do that? But they don't think about how come people say that about you. How come you ain't do this? How come you ain't do that? The people changes. But despite, let's focus on the word and the work that he done or doing. Let's judge the people, what are they doing now? People love to go back and judge somebody, something that happened 10, 15 years ago, and make it seem like that's the same kind of person now. When the Bible said, if you judge one, you'll be judged. You know why? Because the same kind of conflict going to come back on you. People going to bring on your mess, the stuff that you done in the past. And you can say, well, I'm not the same person now. Well, you didn't get that other person an opportunity. You ready to bash them. But make a long story short, this president did a lot of good for this country. But the people that didn't want him to do that for the people didn't like that. So they had to change up and made it look so homophobe, so racist that would tap into your heartstrings. And also the Me Too movement, same thing. It was said that, he was grabbing a woman, vagina. He said you could get away of doing that when you're famous. That's what he said. But a lot of famous people know that. But the people that don't like him or people that told them to say these things, they didn't want America to be free. They don't want American citizens to be liberated. So instead of being liberated, we're going to put stuff on TV and also be shared that people that will like these people, that will push a narrative so you will believe a lie. That's the kind of mess we have now. You got the ESPN of the world. They could talk nigga about the president almost every other day for the 4 years. Oh, he's racist. He this. They ain't utter a word about Joe Biden. Joe Biden doing all this damage in America in the first 6 months. And you don't hear nobody on ESPN saying anything. Who told them not to say nothing now? These are the questions that we need to raise up. Say no favoritism or popularity contest. This is all about the freedom of America. People is selling out of their freedom, and they were going to be slaves, and they don't even realize it. The same people here talking, doing everything their master tells them to. Don't talk about the minister. Don't talk about the president. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about the thing that's going on in the world. Don't talk about it. But who told them to say all these things about the other president? Oh, he's selfish. He's all about himself and all that. But everywhere he go, he didn't show that. He showed that he loved America. He loved people. Trying to do for people. That's how hard these other people is working, trying to make a lie out of somebody else. That's how hard they working. They working that hard trying to stop people from being liberated. So I said enough, and I hope this video will be pushed into the algorithms. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you believe or like what I'm saying, and please hit the like button that will move the algorithm so it can push. It's all about pushing the message to further God's kingdom and help people to be liberated and to think for themselves. All right. Until next time, my brethren, my sisters in Christ, and also the patriots that love this great nation, I pray that you'll be encouraged and have a blessed day. Amen.